Welcome to the Joy Inspired podcast. I'm Nikki Cruise, and I'm thrilled to explore with you what it means to walk in a faith-infused business. This is your space to find powerful tools and insights, to build with resilience, and to create impact through your unique purpose, discovering a joy that only God can provide. Together, let's embrace a business journey anchored in faith and empowered by joy. Let's jump in. Hey, beautiful world changers. Welcome back to Joy Inspired Podcast, where we keep it real. We keep it kingdom. And we keep coffee hot, unless you're like me and you're reheating something else. I'm not a big coffee fan, but I am Nikki Cruise, your host, national speaker, coach, wheelchair escapee, and joy junkie. But most of all, I'm your personal hype woman for faith-filled living. And today's episode is all about being burnt out, frazzled, and just Jesus tired. On how we get to actually rest without running away to a convent. Because let's get real. Let's be honest. If you've ever fantasized about escaping to a monastery just to nap without judgment, today's episode is for you. We have to laugh. We have to go over the top because laughter is good medicine. And especially as the joy junkie, let's just laugh at the craziness that comes from all that burnout and overwhelm. Let's really talk about the burnout beast and the Christian busy bag. We've often been so guilty of it. Let's just call it the way it is. Burnout isn't just a vibe. It's a full-blown spiritual and emotional house fire. And somehow we think the solution is doing more. Because culture tells us if you're not grinding, you're not growing. So we run around like Holy Spirit-filled hamsters on a wheel, chasing. So we run around like Holy Spirit-filled hamsters on a wheel, chasing productivity, like it's salvation, like it's all that matters. So let me paint a picture here. You've got 19 browser tabs open. My husband has a fit when I do that. Your planner looks like a toddler filled with stress. And your idea of me time is locking the bathroom door and breathing like you're in labor. You've all been there. I've been there. But here's the kicker. We confuse being busy with being productive. Let's just go to the Bible for a sec. Because Ecclesiastes 4:6 says, better one handful with tranquility than two handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind. Translation, that for the modern entrepreneur, you can have less on your calendar and still be more in alignment with your purpose. Jesus wasn't a hustler. Jesus took naps. Let's talk about Jesus and his naps. I mean, everywhere he went, people followed, asking for healing, freedom, free lunch, literally loaves and fish miracles. He was the original influencer. But what did he actually do? Luke 5:16 tells us that Jesus often withdrew to the lonely places and prayed. Jesus often peaced out. He dipped from the crowd. He recharged, and he wasn't afraid to say, I need to spend some time with my Father. He never even thought about the fact that those people wouldn't be served because he knew his Father's heart. Hey, he even napped in a storm on a boat Talk about trust. Meanwhile, we're over here, panicked if the Wi-Fi blinks during a webinar. Let me ask you, if Jesus didn't try to do everything for everyone, why are you? Why am I? He didn't heal every person. He didn't attend every event. He didn't even rush. He moved with intention. He wasn't rushed by need. He was led by purpose. Girl, the crowd will always have demands, but heaven is calling you to rest in relationship, that beautiful relationship with God. Don't be too busy for it. And don't be running yourself down so badly that you're too exhausted to see the beauty of that relationship with God. Rest is actually warfare in disguise. Rest isn't passive. Rest is very active. And this is where it gets really good because some of us hear rest and immediately think, but I've got goals. I'm building a business. I've got things to do. The kingdom ain't going to expand itself. I hear you. But let me just challenge you. Rest is not quitting. Rest is kingdom warfare. In Matthew 11, verses 28 to 30, it says, are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Come away with me, walk with me, and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. And that's from the Message translation. Unforced rhythms of grace. Doesn't that sound exactly like what your soul is craving and thirsting for? We think rest is what we get after we've earned it. The kingdom doesn't work that way, and we've all learnt about kingdom ways and how they are so unexpected and different to the ways of the world. Rest is the starting place. Rest is the holy rebellion against burnout culture. Rest is saying, I trust God more than I trust my hustle. Rest is the soundtrack of someone whose heart is surrendered. So when you rest, you're not falling behind. You're falling into his arms. And my friend, there's no better strategy than that. So how do we go from frazzled to fruitful? Let's actually get practical about this conversation of rest. Okay, let's land this joy plane right where it belongs with some Holy Spirit-filled real-life rest tips. Rest tips that won't require you to sell your business or join the quiet monks of the mountain. Here we go. Sabbath like a CEO. One day a week, no work. Yes, even small emails, even Canva. Bake banana bread. Watch Veggie Tales. Start a Sabbath like a CEO. One day a week, no work. Yes, not even an email, not even Canva. Just stop, make some banana bread, Veggie Tales with the kids, stare at a cloud and pretend it's a burrito. Okay, just rest, go out of that place of hustle and just enjoy. Secondly, how about starting your day with God instead of your phone? Before Instagram tells you who you want to be that day, let God remind you of who you actually are. I use my Morning with God page, and it's a Holy Spirit espresso shot. It lightens you up. And when you just take that moment Wow, you get energized. When you get overwhelmed, instead of rushing into the fluster of, oh, I've got to do more, I've got to do more, journal. Journal the overwhelm. Sometimes the best way to silence that inner chaos is to write it down. Not therapy, spiritual housekeeping. And once you've written it down, you've got it out of your brain. Because very often those thoughts are rushing around like different vegetables in a blender, simply because you haven't given them space to come out and be expressed. And as soon as you write them down, your brain understands that you've now taken note and you can deal with the next thing. Ask God, what is mine to carry today? Not what are all the things I can possibly take on, or what do I have to be worrying about? Trust Him. Because burnout often comes from picking up assignments that were never yours to start with. So be discerning, be intentional, and align your actions and your thoughts, and most of all, the burdens you carry with your purpose and your calling. And when you rest, speak it out loud. Say, rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. God leads me beside still waters. Rest is part of my kingdom strategy. Make it part of your kingdom strategy. So here you go, a few final thoughts. You are not a machine. Surprise, surprise. And you're not lazy for needing rest. You're not behind. What you are is you are anointed. You are chosen. You are invited into rest by the God who knit you together, called you for such a time as this. So just stay it with me. I don't have to hustle for what God has already given. I don't grind. I glide in grace. I choose rest, not because I'm finished, but because I'm faithful. You've got permission to pause. And babe, I promise you, purpose won't fall apart while you're resting, especially while you're resting in the arms of Jesus. So how's that for a bit of a different take on rest? How's that for a different take on what we get to do with that burnout and the feeling frazzled? And it starts with pausing, recognize where you're at. And it's not just that you're behind and got too much to do, it's that you aren't standing in a place of rest. So I just go over those three things again, what you get to say. Rest is not weakness, wisdom. God leads me beside still waters. And rest is part of my kingdom strategy. I'm going to encourage you to write those out. Post-it note. One on each, please. Them somewhere where you can see them. And as you go into the week, especially in those moments where you feel a little desperate, just reach out and remember that's the time where you get to pause and you get to rest into the arms of Jesus. So that's it for today. And today's episode, I hope, made you laugh a little, even in the craziness and the bustle and the hustle. And if you were blessed by it, share it with somebody. If you were convicted, make those notes so you can make the changes. Or if you were just plain snorting out laughing at the wheelchair escapee, share this with others. You're a go-getter. And if you know other go-getters who, like you are sometimes, are running on empty, perhaps this will help them. Because remember, rest is radical, and joy is your strength, and you are never too burnt out for God to breathe new life into you and your purpose. I'll catch you next time. Until then, stay joyfully rested, generously purpose-filled. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me on the Joy Inspired Podcast at www.joyinspiredpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can get this and every other episode that comes out. We have lots of great stuff coming, and you don't want to miss it. So make sure to hit that subscribe. I am so grateful for all the reviews and comments, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.